I'm sorry that I shouted at you just then. You know, this has been a really stressful time for all of us.
I'm sorry, too. But I would like to understand why you have constantly tried to shut my mother up.
Not you two.
You have done it throughout her whole visit. Every time my mother voiced a memory or tried to ask a question, you stopped her.
Perhaps because I was trying to keep things pleasant.
You've managed to ruin the whole trip.
No. The fact that your mother's medicine stopped working, that's what ruined the whole trip.
You knew how important it was that my mother and I spent time together, especially after all these years, and you robbed us of that. No, I am not afraid. In fact, I'm too angry to be afraid.
Maybe you better take a few minutes and calm yourself down before you say something you deeply regret.
You know, whatever your problem is, it is not mine, and it is not my mother's, it's yours. And whatever it is, it cannot possibly justify keeping me and my mother apart. Kelly, please. No, this whole charade of sisterly concern, it's bull.
Okay, I'm really, really deeply sorry that you have finished. The problem really is that none of us have had any sleep. So I think we all just better take a nice little nap.
She's about as settled as a brick. Okay, everybody knows what you're doing. They can all see it.
You may not be tired, but I am. This has been the week from hell.
Just leave it alone, sweetheart. You don't understand how controlling that woman is.
Maybe we could all use some quiet time.
I agree.
Are you all right?
I will be.
How about you, Dorian?
I feel alone. Desperately and completely alone.
Now, are you sure you're okay going behind your mother's back with this?
No. But when she found out that I had gone to see David, he conveniently disappeared.
If Dorian knew of our plans, she'd find a way to silence Miss Stonecliffe. How do you know that this Miss Stonecliffe is not going to call Dorian herself? We don't.
So I will just have to try to reach Kelly in California, have her intercept any answering machine messages, and that should hold us for a few days.
Cassie. Hi, sweetheart. I'm glad I caught you. Look, I'm having a little anxiety attack.
What about?
About Dorian. I know that you are doing this out of the best possible intentions, but I just have to warn you because I know firsthand how tenacious and vicious and dangerous Dorian can be. She will stop at nothing to protect whatever secrets she has.
A few weeks ago, I would have felt compelled to argue at that point. Now...
Have you both really considered what all the possible ramifications might be?
I don't see any point in dwelling on it.
Oh, but you must, Mel. You must. And you must be prepared for anything.
And I'm sorry, but you got to both be prepared to leave right now if you want me to drive to the airport. Sorry, Mom.
Hey, good luck. Mel. Yeah, Mel Hazeline. Dorian. It's Vicky.
Hello, Vicky.
Where's Mel? Mel, he's gone.
Gone where?
Gone. You know, gone as in not here. Actually, as I understand it, he's out of town for a few days.
Wonder why you didn't tell me.
Well, gosh, Dorian, as you might remember, news has a funny way of breaking without warning.
Where has he gone?
I'm terribly sorry, but, because of security reasons, I'm simply not at liberty to divulge that.
Did I get a good night's sleep? Am I all set to drop in on Miss Stonecliffe unannounced? Who knows?
I thought you might have the butterflies this morning.
Butterflies? I've got eagles flapping around in here.
All the more reason to shift into the reporter mode.
Oh, be the cool, button-down fact gatherer. Not a chance.
Cassie, I know how deeply personal this is for you. You've had questions about Dorian's past for a good chunk of your own. That's why I think it's so important just to look at this simply as a story you're here to cover.
And Miss Stonecliffe simply as a source.
Well, what better person to give the information than somebody who was not only Melinda and Dorian and Addie's nanny, but their mother's nanny as well?
So what if Miss Stonecliffe doesn't cooperate?
It could happen. Dorian's been supporting her for years. I'm not so much concerned with that as I am with the prospect of her phoning Dorian and telling her that we're around asking questions.
You think she'll do that?
I'm willing to put money on it. But we have one advantage.
Mother's in California.
Right.
All right, so I do need to get in touch with Kelly and ask her to beep into Mother's answering machine and delete any messages. Miss Stonecliffe might leave.
Well, I thought you talked to Kelly last night.
I didn't get a hold of her.
Well, you better try again. I mean, Kelly has the code to Dorian's machine. If we don't have Kelly's help, we have nothing.
How long is he going to keep her downstairs?
Dr. Angel is just giving her some tests, not open heart surgery.
Yes, of course. I just dread having to face the man. After all, I promised him that I would make Melinda's visit to Landview a tonic for her. I swore that it would be a dream come true, that I would look after her every minute.
Well, you certainly did the looking after part. Look, feeling guilty about what happened is not going to help anything or anyone.
That's true. And I know I'm being very selfish. After all, she is your mother, and there's no need for me to make you feel any worse than you already do. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Really.
It's a pretty room, isn't it?
I wish I could talk to Mel.
Well, give him a call. You have your cell phone.
Oh, I can't. He's on assignment.
Where?
Honey, if I knew that, I could call him there, couldn't I?
Just asking.
I don't know how Melinda can tolerate this place. So hideously silent. I'm sorry, this is really ridiculous. And what could be taking so long?
I have no idea.
You know something? I'm going to go find out. Excuse me.
Ian? Not even close. Oh, Cassie, hi. How are you? I just wanted to know how the trip went.
Wasn't exactly what you call a pleasant trip. It was more like a flying psychodrama.
Why, because of my mother? She wouldn't let my mother get 2 words out without trying to shut her up. So I turned around and told her to shut up. Melinda must have been so happy to get back into the hospital.
She was.
Pretty sad comment on the Cramers, huh? Some would rather be in an institution than with us. Listen, Kelly, you alone? Yeah, I'm in my mother's room waiting for Dr. Angel. Why? Mel and I are enchanted. And we're on our way to visit Miss Stonecliffe. But we need your help. Well, what do you want me to do? Keep tabs on Mother's answering machine, and if Miss Stonecliffe should leave any messages after we've seen her, erase them. Oh, wait a minute. First you wanted me to go through Dorian's phone bill, now this? Cassie, no. And Kelly, listen to me. The longer this family hangs on to its secrets, the longer it'll take for any of us to be whole again, especially my mother. But until Mel and I get the full story and we can discuss it with her face to face, we'd rather that she heard nothing about this trip. Well, Cassie, look, if you think that she's going to freak, then why don't you just back off? We can't. Because in her own way, my mother is just as disturbed as Melinda or Addie. And we want to help her before she does anything worse. Worse than what? Kelly, there's something you don't know. Yesterday after you left, Mel found out that Mother withheld Melinda's medication from her while she was in Landview. What? She substituted sugar for the medication in the capsule. Mel got hold of one of the pills, and Mary Hayes confirmed that's what happened. Oh, my God. My mother has been losing touch with reality. She's been heartbroken, thinking that she let me down, and all this time Dorian's been messing with her medication? Yeah, I'm afraid everything points to that. How can I even look at her in the same way?